have an opening song, I'm going to do an introduction, right? After opening song, and we're going to hold things Shabbat, but we're going to get ready to go. We're going to do it. Okay. All right. Here's what we're going to do. That's hard. You have to put it right. What? That's hilarious. All right. No, it's fine. No, thank you so much. All right. Now we have 10:29. So it's 10:39. I want to give it.
We're clapping. Here we go.
Hine mato umanayim shevet achim gam yahad. 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 How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. Hine mato umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine mato umanayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. Oh, I think there can be more Shabbat Shalominess than that, right? You think so? Yeah, absolutely. We think there can be more Shabbat Shalominess than that. We're going to try that one more time. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
That was fantastic. So much better. It is wonderful to see each and every one of you on this Shabbat. Shabbat is a sacred rhythm of time that we have in the Jewish tradition. It weaves us together as a people, and it helps us to remind ourselves that we can take time each and every week to rest, to reflect, to refresh our souls, and to take time to actually be together in this space. And it's a beautiful and wonderful opportunity to let the outside world be the outside world, and to allow ourselves an opportunity just to be here in this space with our prayers, with our thoughts, with each other, listening to the songs of our traditions and also the teachings of our young people. And it is a wonderful thing. So, there's going to be a couple things that help us on our way. First off, it's a great opportunity to let the outside world be the outside world and to turn your cell phones on Shabbat mode, which actually looks a lot like an airplane. All right, so if you can just turn it on an airplane, or Shabbat mode as we like to call it, and just give yourself the present of this space and this time. Also, underneath your seats is a prayer book. right? We have a prayer book. It's blue. That was amazing. This is incredible. I've never had that many people follow what I'm saying ever. This is amazing. All right, so you have a blue prayer book, and this prayer book is designed in a beautiful way in which each 2 pages is kind of like one very large page. And so there's a couple of things. One, everything that we're going to sing in the prayer book is actually on the screen as well. We both have a screen and a prayer book, right? And you find yourself getting lost, the page numbers are listed on the lower right hand of the screen. It is also true that once in a while people get lost in our prayer book, and my tip for you, it's an ancient Jewish wisdom, is just if you turn the page, chances are that's where we are, okay? So just know that like getting lost is a-okay, and sometimes actually the editors of our prayer book invite you to get lost. They want you to get lost because sometimes you find a prayer that resonates with you and you're reading it and it's like that's where you need to be, and that's okay. But it is also true that Huntley and Zach this morning, who are leading our Shabbat morning service, and you'll see they're going to lead everything in the service this morning, this is not a performance. This is an opportunity for them to lead our worship service together, which means everything that they're singing in Hebrew, everything that they're reading in English, we invite you, we ask you, we implore you to read along, to participate in this service, and to make it a real communal experience, right? Finally, we have an opportunity to say Shabbat Shalom to each other. And I saw that you know how to say Shabbat Shalom loudly. You don't have to say that loud when you're talking to the person next to you, but here's the thing. What makes this also really beautiful is that this sacred experience right now is totally unique. This configuration of people will never exist exactly in this way ever again. It's an oasis of time. And so we like to welcome one another. We have people who are watching from all over the world and from hospital rooms as well. And so there's some cameras in the back, and I want to invite you to turn around and to say Shabbat Shalom to the people who are joining us online and who are very much here. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's great. Now, I want to invite you to turn to the north, the south, the east, and the west, to every single direction, to say Shabbat Shalom and to introduce you to the people who are all around you. So say Shabbat Shalom to everyone around you and welcome one another.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, God.
Our worship on Saturday mornings begins with blessings that thank God for our spirits and for our souls. We're going to turn to page 34 in our prayer book, but also to sing a song called Elohai Neshama, thanking God for our souls, as we are so appreciative for the souls that we have and our ability to wake up to the world and know that we can take a breath in this moment.
Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Shenata bi Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Ata Berata. Ata Yitzarta Ata Nefata Nefata Bi Elohai Elohai Neshama Elohai Elohai Neshama Shenata Tabi Tehorai Tehorai Beata Mishamra Beata Mishamra prayer I choose is Adonai Sifatai Tifta. This is the opening prayer to the Amidah, which is the section of prayers about our gratitude to God for giving us everything we have. The first prayer is Avot V'imachot. It is about God's relationship to our ancestors and how our ancestors were able to lay the foundation for us to have a relationship with God. The second prayer the giver wrote thanks God for doing mighty deeds like healing the sick and freeing the captive. The third prayer of the Amidah is the Kiddushah. This prayer is about God's holiness and how we should recognize God here on earth as we do in the heavens. After these three prayers, we go into silent prayer. The silent prayers are words from our heart, where we can thank God for what we have. The silent prayers are more open-ended. They are not written out, and I think this is why we ask God to open our lips in Adonai Sifatai Tifta. We are asking God for permission to start these prayers, some of which are not in the prayer book. Sometimes in my life, I have to ask others if I can speak about the thoughts that I have, especially if they are more important than I feel I am. God is pretty important. God made all of us and the universe, so it is a similar idea. We have to ask God if we can start to pray. This prayer is important to me because it shows that God trusts us to say the words that He gave to us, the words of our hearts and minds. Even if they are not words that are in the prayer book, God believes we are able to say these words and knows when we are done, whatever we say will be right.
The prayer that stands out to me the most in the Shabbat service is the Avot V'ima'ot. The Avot V'ima'ot is the prayer in the section of the Amidah. The Amidah is a section of the service where we praise God. The Avot V'ima'ot is a prayer about God's relationship to our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel. This prayer is special to me because it is the first prayer that I fully memorized during Hebrew school. The reason I chose this prayer is because I want my relationship with God to be how God's relationship is described in this prayer. The prayer talks about how God has a loving and kind relationship with my ancestors. I want that type of relationship as well. The people in the Torah and in our prayers lived a long time ago. I used to think it was kind of silly to assume that God would bless me like my ancestors because those people lived so long ago. But I now know that it is possible that I can be blessed because my ancestors were blessed. By reciting the Avot V'ima'ot, I am connecting myself to the blessings of my ancestors. When we pray this prayer in a few moments, I hope you can feel connected to your ancestors and that you can feel just as blessed as I do. Please rise.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantan levanecha, vidivarta bam, vishivtecha bevetecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, ushochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'chayu letotafot beinenecha, uvtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, Uvisharecha leman tiskeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitkem kedoshim le'elokechem ani Adonai Elokechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'yot lachem le'elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. You have stayed long enough in this place, God said. Time to go forward. Turn your face to the future. Believe that you can cross the sea and survive. And inside you is a Moses. Within you Miriam dances. Unafraid, lift up your voice and sing a new song.
שיבחו גאולים, לשמחה שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו, והמליכו ואמרו,
אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu
Elokei Yaakov, Elokei Sarah, Elokei Rika, Elokei Rachel, Elokei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VeHanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, V'zocher Gastei Avot V'imachot, U'me'ivim Lifnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'achava, Melech Hozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Kol Atah Rav L'Choshiyah, Mori Atah, Mechakel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayeh Hakol Beracham Mirabim, Shomen Nofalim Berocheh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Achar, Michamo Chapa'al Gevurot, Umidom Elah, Melech Memit, Umekayem, Umatmiya Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atah L'chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Nekadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, Kakatuv ya neviyecha, V'kara ze'el ze ve'emar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivot, Melech ha'aretz, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Ma'adir, Shim, Ha'bechol ha'aretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai, Echad hu Elokeinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, V'hu Yashmienu, Berachamav L'nei Kol Chai, Ani Adonai Elokechem, Yimloch Adonai Le'olam, Elokai Yitzion, Ledor V'dor, Hallelujah. Ledor V'dor Nagid Kod Lecha, O Netza Netzachim Kiddushach Nakdis, B'shivchacha Elokeinu, Mipinu Lo Yamush Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Shmechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei oneg Shabbat, Yishmechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei oneg Shabbat.
Am Mekadeshe, Mekadeshe Shevi,
Shabbat,
Kulam Yesbu, V'yetangu Metuvecha,
Shabbat, Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei oneg Shabbat, Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei oneg Shabbat.
V'hashvi Ratzitabo, Ratzitabo V'kadashto,
Shabbat,
Chemdat Yamim, Yamim Oto Karata,
Shabbat, Yismechu b'malchutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei oneg Shabbat,
Lemase Bereshit.
Shabbat.
Zecher Lemase Bereshit.
Shabbat.
Yismechu b'malachutaha. Shomrei, 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 Shabbat b'korei. Onei Shabbat.
Shabbat. Yismechu.
B'malachutaha. Shomrei, 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 Shabbat b'korei. Onei Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
We now take time for silent prayer.
Shabbat peace. On Saturday mornings, on Shabbat mornings, as well as other days during the week, we find ourselves at a profound juncture of our Jewish tradition. It's a juncture that helps us to tie a sacred thread. And the Torah itself is that sacred thread. It's a sacred thread that is woven with the hopes and with the dreams and the devotions of countless generations. And it awaits us, the Torah awaits us to do more weaving. Because as we prepare to unfurl its ancient pages, We embark on an exchange, a passing of a torch of wisdom from hands to hands, from hearts to hearts. And in this continuity, we affirm our place in a timeless narrative of our Jewish tradition, a legacy that stretches beyond the generations that are present here, and a legacy that is going to be woven by us to generations unconceived by us, inconceivable to us. Because we are given the responsibility to shape and ensure the light of understanding, the light of compassion, the light of guidance of thousands of years of wisdom that endures through us. And I think that's one of the most beautiful aspects of our tradition, is that the Torah is not something that is owned by any single generation. It is not something that is owned by any single individual. It is something that we ensure lives on by passing it into the arms, into the hands of our young people so that they can carry it in their lives. So we have a sacred act and a sacred duty this morning to weave that thread from generations past towards generations unknown through the arms and the hearts of Huntley and Zach. There are a lot of people that I have to include for this morning. So, Zach and Huntley, I'm going to invite you to go down to the floor, right? And to get ready to be joined by your families. To open the ark up here, I want you guys to come up here and to undress the Torah. I'm going to invite forward Larry Skipper and Bill Zimmern, the uncle Bill Zimmern, yes, and also Anu Palosami to help undress the Torah. Anu, if you'll come forward, thank you. And come stand up here. Right behind me in cantor. And then to pass the Torah from generation to generation for Zach's family, I'm going to invite forward Gabe and Jim Rosenthal and Robin Rosenthal and Todd Rosenthal, of course. And from the Zimmerns, Sam and Emily and Amelia and Adam and Angie and Bill. If you will come stand right next to Huntley. Oh, Brad Rosenthal. Sorry, Brad. Brad, you're coming up. Just skip your name. Apologize about that. So, we're all ready, but you're not. And so we're going to invite you to please rise as we take the Torah from the ark. Brad. Zach and Huntley, I want you to take a step forward. Good. All right. Zach, I'm going to ask you to turn to your right, Huntley to your left. You chose the right directions. That's amazing. We can have a bar mitzvah today. That's great. All right. I want you to take a moment to look at the eyes of the family members that you have standing in front of you. And to look at each one of them in their eyes. And then to take a look at the people who are standing behind you at the ark. And then to take a look and take a look at everyone else who's standing here. This is the weaving of the generations of your family. This is your community of friends and family and family. These are the people who love you and have such joy in their hearts and smiles on their faces, in the recognition that you are participating in an act that is so beautiful as we pass the Torah, l'dor v'dor, from generation to generation into your arms.
Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu
My Torah portion takes place just before the Israelites are about to conclude their long journey to the land of Israel, marking 40 years since their escape from Egypt. The setting of the story unfolds in the wilderness of Jordan, situated within the land of Moab, in what is the modern-day country of Jordan. Moses addressed the Israelites, giving a set of instructions that will help to guide them after his death. These instructions include 72 distinct commands covering so many different aspects of daily life. However, a massive challenge emerges when the Amalekites launch a sudden attack on the Israelite camp. Fortunately, the 12 Israelite tribes work together to defeat the mighty Amalekites. This unexpected clash shows the significance of unity, resilience, and unwavering support through times of adversity. It served as a powerful reminder that their collective strength was made possible because of their ability to stand together and confront serious threats. This showed them and all of us that we can accomplish tough obstacles by working together. Jewish tradition teaches us that each one of us has the power to make a positive impact in the world. We know that small actions can make a difference, but it's also true that our individual actions are not going to be able to solve big problems. For example, in the war in Ukraine would not be able to defend itself from the Russians for this long if it wasn't for the supplies of the United States, NATO, and other countries. Their success is because different nations decided to work together and support the defense of Ukraine. This is also true for global warming. As you all know, it's been hot this summer. The air quality has been terrible because of the wildfires in Canada. Sure, one person can save energy by changing their light bulbs, turning off their lights, and making better environmental choices, but that will not save the environment. Then we need more people to take action, to work together and solve the problems of global warming if we want to stop it. Yes, in Judaism, the idea of tikkun olam teaches us that our individual actions, no matter how small, can have an impact. But it is also true that we need a lot of people taking collective action to solve problems and reach our goals as a community. That's the message of this Torah portion. My Torah portion teaches us that we need to act with empathy, compassion, and a sense of responsibility towards one another if we want to accomplish big and world-altering goals. We can't do it alone. We need each other. The challenges faced by the Israelites are similar to the complexities of our own time, prompting us to reflect on our shared human experience. Whether assisting a struggling classmate in carrying a heavy load, or extending support to those in need, or seeking opportunities to make a positive difference. If we can act together, we can do amazing things. We can create a more compassionate world, and we can tackle the really big challenges we face, both through our individual actions of kindness and by acting together to make a better, safer, and more inclusive world. May we all be inspired to act for the well-being of others. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yeshua, I'm going to invite forward for the first Aliyah today, Sam and Emily Zimmer.
I'm right here to hand this to you. See this? You can.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu michal ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Lo tireh et shor achicha, o et seyo nidachim v'hitalam ta mehem hashev tishivim le'achicha v'im lo karov achicha elecha v'lo yidato v'asavto el toch betecha v'chaya imecha ad derosh achicha oto v'hashev oto lo v'chein taseh lahamuro v'chein taseh l'sim laton v'chein taseh Lecho avadat achicha asher tovad mimechnu umsata lo torha lehitalem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temeh v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And everyone say Yesher. Everyone say Koach. Put that together, say Yesher Koach.
Yasher Koach.
Yesher Koach, in translated roughly in North Carolinian, it's keep pounding. And it means keep up the strength, and we say keep up the strength for honoring Shabbat and Torah this morning, for the generations that you have brought into Judaism in our congregation, for the ways that you continually act towards the benefit of our community, but most importantly for being the awesome grandparents of Huntley. I would like Yesher Koach, keep up the strength, and of course, Huntley would like a big hug, all right? Emily wants that too. Sam's ready for it. Perfect. You'll stay on the other side. And for the second Aliyah, invite forward your parents, Bill and Angie Zimmerman, as well as your sister Abby, whose bat mitzvah looked a little different during the COVID era.
Baruch et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Lo tireh et chamor achicha, o shorom noflim baderech, v'hitalam tach mehem hakem takim imo. Lo yeh keli gever al isha, v'lo yobash gever simlat isha. Ki toavat Adonai Elohecha kol osei elech. Ki yekare kan sipor lefanecha baderech v'hoed o al haaretz efrochim o veitzim v'chaim ruvetzet al ha-efrohim o al ha-veitzim lo tikach ha'em al habanim shaleach tishalach et ha'em vet habanim tikach lach lema'an yitavach v'harata yamim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. And we say Yasher Koach. For honoring Torah and for in Shabbat and for raising great kids in our community, for being a big sister, and for all the ways that you guys love Huntley. Give him a big hug.
Baruch et Adonai Hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher barcha banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Ki tivneh ba'it hadash ve'asita mahaken legageha ve'lo tasim damim beveiteha ki pol hanufel mimechnu lo tizrach karmeha kilayim pentikdash hamleah hazerach asher tizrach v'ut hakarem lo taharosh b'shor uvahamor yachdav lo tilvash sha'anes semer ufishtim yachdav. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. And we say out loud, Yesher Koach, Yesher Koach, for honoring Torah and Shabbat in our community, for teaching us Torah, for becoming a bar mitzvah in our community. Awesome job. Keep up the strength. What a beautiful job. Yesher Koach. Thank you. Why don't you give your parents and your sister a big hug again? They are waiting for you.
My Torah portion is Ki Tetzeh from the book of Deuteronomy. It takes place on the plateau of Moab, just east of Jericho. My family and I had the opportunity to travel there this summer. My portion takes place a little further back in time from when we recently visited, around 1270 BCE. The portion begins with Moses speaking to the Israelites, reminding them of their covenant with God. Moses knows he's about to die, so he's determined to remind them what will happen to them if they fail to honor their agreement. Moses reminds the Israelites of their past encounter with the Amalekites, and with his words, he delivers a good Jewish speech, one filled with both fear and guilt. My portion is unique because it contains the most commandments in any one parashah, 72 commandments to be exact. These commandments focus on everything, from how to deal with lost animals and repay loans, to workers' rights, and my favorite, parental guilt. Ki Tetzeh translates to when you go out. Now that in and of itself has an anticipatory sound to it. I personally am not much of a planner, as my parents will tell you, but my portion is designed to prepare you on how you should interact with others. For instance, in the Torah, it discusses that when you go out to harvest olives and grapes, that you should only take what you require and leave the rest for others in need. Now, I know we aren't exactly harvesting olives here in Charlotte, but the concept of thinking about others and their needs is universal. Another concept discussed in my portion is paying for labor. The commandment says that the landowner shall pay their labor daily because the worker depends on the money to live. Now, I tried to convince my parents to give me my allowance daily, but so far I've been unsuccessful. The point here is that some of these commandments were written during a time when our people only lived in the land of Israel and were farmers. The world has changed, but that doesn't mean the commandments are less valuable. The central values and ideas of treating each other with respect still stands, maybe even more so today. My portion further stresses the need to not turn a blind eye. For example, if your enemy loses their donkey and you find that donkey on the road, you must return it to your enemy. Regardless of how you feel towards someone, our Jewish faith teaches us that we must live by a set of rules, laws, and values. If we don't, then I believe our society will not function properly and it would lead to chaos. Rules, laws, and values help us to be our best selves and hold each other accountable. It's almost like the Torah anticipated that people with different backgrounds and different values might not get along with each other. Therefore, the Torah provides a set of guidelines for everyone in a society to follow. It's sort of like when my brother Gabe wants to put the Lego set in sequential order, exactly as the instructions show. I just want to put the little people together and start playing. If we are going to have a good time and finish the Lego project, we need to agree upon a set of rules of how we are going to accomplish the task. These rules help to shape our experience of each other and decrease the tension that could arise from each of us doing our own thing without considering the needs of the other. Throughout my portion, we are continually reminded that we were slaves in the land of Egypt. I think this is intentional, to ensure that we treat others how we want to be treated. But what if by helping others, like our enemy, we forego doing something to better or help ourselves? The Torah teaches us to strive to be better, to respect each other, and to help those in need. What if that conflicts with my own instinct to help myself and do for myself above anyone else? The answer, I believe, is that it is not a one-size-fits-all approach. Sometimes you must ignore your instincts and help the less fortunate, while other times we should help ourselves first. I like the concepts that my Torah portion teaches. It recognizes that even back in Moses' time, not all people got along. Unfortunately, today, it is still evident, based on what we hear and read, that not all people live in harmony. We are more diverse than ever. Even though I am only one voice, our individual efforts can help us to become the best we can possibly be. Our success will be measured in progress, not perfection. Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, but I have to ask, have you ever finished the instructions?
No.
And then there's a couple pieces left over?
Yeah.
And then you realize that you must have skipped a step? Has that ever happened?
Yeah, it's all his fault.
It's all his fault. Okay, just wondering. Okay. That's the story of our lives. All right. You probably shouldn't have said it was his fault right before I'm about to call him up for the Aliyah, but I invite forward Gabe and Jim Rosenthal for the fourth Aliyah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu B'Kol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Ki tashev re'acha mashat me'uma lo tavo el beito la'avot avoto bahutz ta'amod becha'ish asher ata noshevo yotzi elecha et ha'avot achutza vim ish ani hu lo tishkav ba'avoto hashev tishiv lo et ha'avot kivo hashemesh v'shachav b'salmato uverhecha ocha tikye tzedaka lifnei Adonai Elohecha.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. And we say Yesher Koach to you for honoring Torah and Shabbat and for being an awesome big brother and Madrich as well, and for also for raising a great family. I know that he is ready for a big either fist bump, high five, hug, you choose, but come and give him a hug.
I'm a little shorter.
Not as awkward.
It's my pleasure to invite forward Robin and Todd to come for the fifth Aliyah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Lo ta'asho zahir ani ve'evyon me'ahecha o migerecha asher bertecha bisharecha biyomo titain sechara velo tachavo alav hashemesh ki ani hu ve'elav hu nosei et nafsho velo yikrav alecha el Adonai v'chaya v'cha hate lo yumetu avot al banim uvanim lo yumetu al avot ish becheto yumatu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen. Yesher Koach for honoring Torah and Shabbat, for raising great kids in our community. I know he's ready for a big hug, so go ahead, give him a big hug.
Yay. This one I like.
Ya'amod, Zachariah Ranon ben Rina Le'avital Ranon bar HaMitzvah.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Lo tateh mishpat ger ya'atom v'lo tachavo beged almanah b'zacharta ki evet hayita b'mitzrayim v'yiftecha Adonai Elokecha misham al ken anochi mitzavecha la'asot et hadavar hazeh ki tiksor ketzircha v'sadecha v'shachachta omer basadeh lo tashuv lekachto lager layatom v'la'almana yehyeh lima'an yevarechecha Adonai Elohecha b'chol ma'aseh yadecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nita b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen. Yeshua, go give your parents another big hug. As we have the Torah, you can see that. Thank you. As we have the Torah out, I'm going to invite.
Oh, I thought I was sitting down.
Zach and Huntley to come forward. Listed on the screen are the names of people in our congregation, our community, who are in need of healing. Healing of mind and body and spirit and soul. And these are people who are sometimes in hospital rooms or they're in their own homes. Sometimes they are in Charlotte or far away. And we in our community are thinking of them. And then each and every Shabbat, we take a moment before we sing a prayer of healing to also take time to go around the congregation and invite you to share names. Either you can share them out loud, or if you want, you can share them just silently in your own heart, to add to the names of the people who are on the screens, that we as a community may pray for them. And the words of our prayers are clear. They say, Baruch atah Adonai rofeha cholim, blessed are you, God, who not only heals the sick, but also it's an invitation to us. All of our prayers are invitations to do some sacred work, to make a phone call, to bring a meal, to help support people in their lives and in their struggles. And that's what community does, that's what friends do, and that's what our tradition teaches is helpful in the process and the support of families during their need. So I invite you to share out loud, or even silently in your hearts, people that you're thinking about on this Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai rofeha cholim, blessed are you, God, who supports, who comforts, and who walks with those in need.
Mi shebera avotenu mechor haberacha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebera imotenu mechor haberacha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We're going to return, dress, and then return the Torah to the Ark. We invite forward Danny Zimmern to lift the Torah, if you'll come forward, and also Beverly Zimmern and Tanya Zimmern, if you'll come forward, to help dress the Torah, and Brad Rosenthal, I'm going to invite you up to open the Ark. Please rise. Asher Samoshe Livnei Bnei
Israel, al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Vezot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai beyad Moshe.
Do I go first? I want to thank all the madrahim, tutors, teachers, and clergy for preparing me for my bar mitzvah. Congratulations to Huntley and the entire Zimmern family. Mazel tov. A special shout out to all my friends who have put up with me all these years. You make my life way more fun. To my family, of course, the first to thank is my dog Copper for being the favorite child and always putting a smile on my face. To my grampy, thank you for being at all my special events and telling me exceptional stories about my dad. It is nice to hear both sides of the truth. Gabe, where do I start? Thank you for driving me to school, playing sports with me, and doing stupid stuff so I don't get in trouble. You're a unique one, Mr. Grinch, and I will miss you when you leave for college. Dad, thank you for always making me your top priority. I learn a lot just by watching you. I love everything we do together, playing sports, watching movies, doing homework, and all our travel adventures. You are the best. Mom, wow, there's a lot to say. Thank you for always being my personal planner. You are always there for me, and I know you have my back. Don't worry, I'll keep looking for other mobs playing sports on our street. Though you sometimes may be intimidating, I love you with all my heart. Mom and Dad, please join me on the bima. And don't laugh when you get up here.
Zach, with happiness and pride, we thank you, Adonai, our God, for enabling us to reach this wonderful day. Words cannot express how proud we are of you, Zach, today and every day. It has been an absolute joy for our family to watch you grow into the young man that you've become. Since you were very little, you have always possessed a strong moral compass, which has guided you well when choosing your friends, deciding how to spend your time, and setting your priorities. May God continue to watch over you and guide you throughout your life.
We hope that you'll reflect often on this momentous milestone coupled with your recent trip to Israel. We pray that these experiences will remind you of the responsibilities you have to your family, your friends, and your Jewish heritage. Continue to possess your unique blend of independence and stubbornness with compassion and kindness. We hope that you never lose that effervescent smile, your intellectual curiosity, the keen wit we all have come to expect, and your sense of self. Know that we love you very much and are always honored to be your parents.
On a day like today, there is so much to be thankful for. I would like to recognize all the people who have helped me along the journey to become a bar mitzvah. Thank you to my religious school and Hebrew teachers, the Madrahim, Kana Roskin, Karen Mary, and Rabbi Knight for supporting me and helping making this day possible. Zach, thank you for being the best partner I could have asked for. I admire your hard work and your drive to success. I wish you the best in the future. Mazel tov to you and your whole family. To my friends, thanks for supporting me, motivating me, and asking questions. The questions are fun to answer. Thank you for being here, for supporting me on this special day, and above all, your friendship. I also want to thank all my relatives who have traveled from all over the country to be here. Y'all have funny personalities, and I love that we get to celebrate this together. I especially want to acknowledge and thank my grandparents, Minnie, Pappy, Gigi, and Grandpa Larry. I have the most incredible grandparents who play golf with me, who travel with me, and are really fun to share my life with. Unfortunately, my friend Benny cannot be here with us today. Apparently, my parents did not think it was appropriate to invite Benny, who is an incredible four-legged friend, who is always up for a game of chase or playing in the pool. Abby, you have always been there for me, especially when I need someone to talk with. You have a positive personality and always see the good. I love you. Last, but certainly not least, Mom and Dad, you both do so much for me and have helped me throughout my life. You are both always present when I need you. You have great advice and positive attitude that helps to encourage me to reach my goals like the bar mitzvah. I could not have asked for better parents. I love you both so much. Mom and Dad, please join me on the bima.
Huntley, today is a celebration of you, a celebration of who you are, what you're becoming, and what you've learned along the way. Ever since you arrived, you've had a desire to learn and have challenged us with your thoughtful questions, not only about the world, but about how to make it better. You've spent the last 13 years asking us questions of every nature. Having a kiddo like you has forced us to up our game. I've even had to learn how to play basketball. Learn more ourselves and made us better parents. Your quest for knowledge of things like world history, chess, basketball, football, and who can forget magic tricks are but a snapshot of the incredible young man that you are. Dad and I miss that little guy always asking questions, but we're so proud of you for figuring things out on your own, like installing LED lights in his room this morning before the service, for unbeknownst to us. And your yearning for knowledge. It's one of my favorite things about you. Keep pushing yourself and lifting up those around you. We hope, Huntley, you'll look to the love, advice, support of the generations of loving family members who came before you, who love you and believe in you. We hope you will follow the words of your Torah portion. Look out for people and work together with neighbors and friends. The presence here today of so many good friends is a testament to the reliable friend you are and the impact you have had on many. We love you.
Doesn't seem like that long ago was our first Dot Shabbat. Or that long ago that I could comfortably beat you in one-on-one. You've done a fantastic job today, and I'm proud of you. We are proud of the curious, kind, smart, independent, and brave young man you've become. We are grateful to be celebrating your bar mitzvah, and we pray that God will bless you with the courage to keep charting your own path, trusting your heart, and never stop asking those questions. In your speech, you mentioned Tikkun Olam, the duty of Jews to repair the world, and we hope you will keep that guiding principle in your heart. Help other people, less fortunate, however you can through life. Look for ways to lift up those who don't have the many gifts that have been bestowed on you. Always try to be a force for good among your friends, your family, and your faith. Bring people together, never apart. And know that we are always here for you. We'll always be proud of you and proud to be your parents. We love you, Huntley.
I invite forward Rabbi Schindler. And I ask the congregation to please rise.
Aleinu leshabeach.
Was it? We'll do a blessing first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Sorry. Guys, come on forward. Well, first, Rabbi Schindler Huntley married your parents 17 years ago, is that right? 17 years ago. And so we wanted to invite Rabbi Schindler, who's our Rabbi Emerita, to be up here for this special blessing as well. And it's a beautiful thing to have the generations of rabbis in our community and clergy in our community to be able to support you. The both of you spoke so beautifully about your Torah portions, about the values of your Torah portions, and with 70-something commandments to choose from, right? Zach, there's a lot in your Torah portion to choose from, but I think that the two of you hit really well on two key aspects that I want to highlight, because I actually think that those two key aspects are also core to the ways in which the two of you live your lives. The first is empathy. That your Torah portion speaks about, for example, leaving the corners of your fields, right, for those who do not have. A way of tikkun olam, as also said. And then that your Torah portion speaks about trying to recognize what it might be like to be hungry, to be poor, to recognize that, that the world as it is isn't as it ought to be. And it asks us to empathize with the experience of other people, but then it also asks us to go one step further, which is to take the empathy that we have and to apply it to how we live our lives. And what I have found so amazing about the two of you is that, different from each other in really beautiful ways, the two of you have incredible empathy and ability to understand the experience of others, but also a drive to make our world a better place through your actions. And our prayer for you on this Shabbat morning is that you continue to live with the values of your Torah portion, that you live with that sense of empathy, you recognize and you explore with your curiosity that the two of you have what it might be like for other people, and then to make their lives better. Now, Zach, you made my life better in a way that I think it is worth mentioning too. Zach's, one of his writing appointments was on my brother's birthday, and Zach came in pre-prepared with a prank call script ready to go. So we could. So I do also specifically want to thank you for helping me to prank call my brother on his birthday and offer him football tickets for a game that he did not have football tickets. But thank you. It was a beautiful gift that you gave me. I appreciate it. But I also want to say to you something that's also important. The two of you have a strong Jewish tradition and models within your families of taking Judaism seriously. And the values of your Torah portion are really about, not just about how to make a less chaotic world, which I think is definitely true, but it's also about how we perpetuate those values. And what's true for you is that your parents and siblings and grandparents and great-grandparents and beyond and beyond and beyond have modeled intentional, beautiful Jewish living. And my prayer for you is that you keep that tradition strong through the ways that you live and act, bring kindness to the world. And it is with great love that we give to you a blessing that's at the center of the Torah, a blessing that has been passed down from generation to generation, that was said by the priests to the people and by parents to their children. And we all have a role. First, everyone say Ken. Ken. Say Yehi. Yehi. And say Ratzon. Ratzon. And put together say Ken Yehi Ratzon. Ken Yehi Ratzon. That means may this be God's will. And we're going to say that after Rabbi Schindler and I translate each of the verses and stanzas that Kenna Roskin sings. So parents, I'm going to ask you to place your hands onto your children. Take a moment to take a look at the Torah and the blessings that's in it. To close your eyes and take a deep breath. And to listen to the words and prayers of our tradition passing l'dor v'dor from generation to generation.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you, and may God keep you safe.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka.
May God's radiance shine upon you and be gracious to you. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha Yasem lecha shalom, shalom.
May God always be present in your lives. May God fill your futures with love, with a continued sense of humor that lifts the lives of those around you. May you be leaders like the generations that preceded you. May God fill that future with health, with joy, with love, with laughter, with peace. And we all say, Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will.
Amen. We're going to now stay exactly where we are, and we're going to continue with the words of Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
At this time, we think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts as our own. Our custom in our congregation is to rise as the name of your family member is read. We are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days, after the deaths of Juana Benitez, Ellen Caron, Jeffrey Cooper, Terry Bradley, Andrew Feldman, Barbara Goldberg, Paula Musler, and Albert Soferenko. We mark with sympathy and sadness the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Miriam Abramsky, Phil Andel, Myrna Joy Andel, Anna Apple, Royal G. Beck, Raul Backlin, Arlen E. Cohen, Patrick Conway, Sally Corzin, Irving Davis, Salvatore Di Maio, Linny Bell Irgel, Ellie Elbaum, Mildred Elmanson, Audrey Izarski, Harold Fishkin, June W. Garfinkel, Donald Gottheim, Sissy Gottlieb, Abe Greenberg, Molly Grundman, Gail Guzik, Barbara Bertha Helling, Jeanette Herman, Irene Jacobson, Matt Josephs, Samuel Kaplan, Dorothy Katz, Peter Kushiko, Florence Lasker, Thelma Levine, Sherman Levine, Rosalind Levy, Daniel Mabel, Ronald Maniloff, Abraham Miller, Ida Monkis, Esther Mond, Herman Nova, Manuel Ornstein, Richard Peischer, Miss Louise Rickles, J. Morton Rosenblum, Charles Israel Ruttman, Irving Sato, Paul Schatt, Dina Schlegel, Gloria Schwartz, Annie Siegel, Isidore Cinco, Hy Specterman, Regina Stahl, Sidney Stein, David Underwood, Joseph F. Bueno, Leo Weingarten, and Corinne Zimmern, Spear, Swan. Zach's family wishes to remember on this day Lisa Rosenthal, Sylvia Barr, Samuel Barr, and Rochelle Barr. And Huntley's family wishes to remember Joan Scoggins, Preston Skipper, George Hardister, James Cox, Corinne Chaim Zimmern Spear, as we just said, William A. Zimmern, Huntley Biener, Fairchild Sr., and Emily Smith Fairchild, Kirsten Cerveni. Remember as well all the people in our congregation and our community who died in the Shoah, the Holocaust. Remember the first responders and those who have given their lives defending our freedoms and given our safety. Remember those who died defending the state of Israel. Zichronam Livracha. May all their memories be for a blessing as we rise as one congregational family with the words of Kaddish Tom, the Mourner's Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'almad divrah kirtei ve'almik malutei, b'chayechon u'yorechon u'chayei techol beit Israel, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yeshua shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei omayah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitmar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei t'kudusha berechu le'ei min kol chita shirata tishvetacha v'nechamata da'amiran belma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabbah mishemaya v'chayamim aleinu ve'kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom b'mrumav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
I invite your families to come up as well and to come join us right over here for Kiddush and Hamotzi. So come on up. And as they do that, just a few hodaot, a few announcements about things that are going on in our congregation and our community. First and foremost, the High Holy Days. Well, they are quickly approaching. And if you want to come and join us for the High Holidays, we'd love to have you. Information is available on our website, and you can get anything from tickets to our services to ordering chopped liver, like everything in between, at our website, so go there. Also, as we celebrate the High Holidays, we're going to honor and recognize many people, and just a reminder that the Lizkor V'Lichvod book in honor and memory, that special book of the honor, the date is quickly approaching for making the donations and also for dedicating an honor to someone. Also, beginning on September 6th, we're going to have opportunities for personal reflection here at in the sanctuary. It's a powerful part of the High Holy Days. So if you want to sign up for time just to have a moment of personal reflection as you prepare for the season, by all means, again, on our website to do that. And Slichot is on September 9th at 8 p.m. here at Temple Bethel. We join with Temple Israel and the clergy of Temple Israel for a deeply moving Slichot experience. If you have any questions about whether it's My Temple commitment or religious school enrollment or High Holidays, just call the Temple or go to our website. Last but not least, the Rosenthal guests. This is going to be hard. There's going to be a parting of ways, okay? So give each other hugs right now, okay? The Rosenthal guests are going to go into the Sandra and Leon Levine Social Hall, which is out and to your right. And then the Zimmern guests are going to be going to the David Silverman Social Hall, which is out and to your left, okay? So you can give hugs in a moment. We're going to conclude by saying actually a prayer that was already said and translated for us, thanking God not only for giving us joy in our lives, but helping to reach this season, to giving us life and helping us to reach this season with such joy. And then we're going to continue with Kiddush and Hamotzi, sanctifying Shabbat, and we'll say Shabbat Shalom and a big Mazel Tov, and give each other big hugs.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. L'chaim. Come put your Kiddush cups right here. It's sweet. Very, very sweet. It's delicious. We'll say Hamotzi, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. And B'tei Avon, you can take a bite, and there's more up here for others later. And we say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
I love that. Lunch is always up. Oh, we gotta grab lunch. I love it. I think I agree. Where? Yeah, absolutely. They got my knife right, but not a lot of lunch. Yeah. Good job. My sister's always like no, really serious. Really serious. All right, see you. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
When you leave.
So I already left. We're going to leave back. I have to leave tomorrow.
It's on Thursday.
I'm not excited for it.
Good one week.
Sorry, excited to go back. Wasn't excited to like.
I thought you had
bounce. No, I left on Wednesday. Oh my gosh. You came back? I came back. Yeah.
Thanks for going back.
He loves his brother.
Exactly.
He does it for the world.
Thank you. I want to take my
Go see your friends.
I'm gonna ask you to love cat. Seriously, totally need it.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you guys break these down a bit, but it's really nice. Yeah.